Okay, I believe we're up to lesson 10. I'm sorry, in the last lesson, I believe the F sharp part here was cut off, but you can see it. These are the notes, and these are the intervals in the song structure in the numerical notation for the F sharp. Everything else was visible in the last one. As I talked about, this is a very important lesson in musical in music theory. You can see as we're moving along, we have not only the notes of the scale, say the key of C, C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, but there are also common chords that are associated with that if you are playing in any particular formation. If someone asks you to play a 1-4-5, or if you're in jazz and they ask you to play a 2-4-6, whatever that might be, this major scale chords diagram tells you what they mean by that. Okay, so as we showed in a couple lessons before, if you're playing in the key of C, the second note of the scale would be D, but playing a D major chord in the key of C, although it's done, as in a Rolling Stones song that we talked about a few lessons back, you can't always get what you want. It's sometimes used, but not that frequently. Most often what you would see in the second position would be a D minor. You can see what the notes are here, D, F, and A D minor, or a D minor 7, which is a D, F, and a G, okay? Or an E minor, or an F. You can see the notes there, F, A, and C, or G, an A minor for the 6th, and your first exposure to a diminished chord, perhaps, the B diminished, and those notes would be B, D, and F. I'm playing the F on the first string, the D on the second string, and the B on the third string, 4th fret. And you'll see how a B diminished resolves very nicely back to a C. Okay, so for all of these keys, you really need to practice, common chords that would occur in the 1 position, the 2 position, the 3 position, the 4 position, the 5 position, the 6 position, and the 7th position. In G, that would be G. A minor is a common 2nd. B minor is a common 3rd. C is a common 4th. D is a common 5th. E minor is a common 6th. And F sharp diminished is a common 7th. Okay? So looking at that, we will also see that within those chords there are notes that comprise the triads. And this is very important. In addition to just doing scales, normal scales like we taught in lessons 1 through 3, where you're simply using your AMI technique and going right up the C scale, for example, you want to know what the notes are that comprise the chords. What are the triads that comprise the chords? So in C, if you're practicing and you're comping along with the C chord, the notes that you would want to familiarize yourself with would be C, E, and G. Now riffs in jazz can be a lot longer than that. They can be, 4 or 5 note riffs, but let's just concentrate on 3 note riffs for the beginning in every single key. So in the key of C, C, E, G, C, E, G, C, E, G. If you go to D minor, D, D, F, A, 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 D, F, A. And I'll show you this on the guitar in a subsequent lesson, but I just want to get you to get used to the idea. In E minor, you would have E, G, B. In F, the triad would be F, A, C. In G, the triad would be G, B, D. In A, it would be A, C, E. And the B diminished would be B, D, F. Okay, so you can, if you have recording equipment, you can record yourself playing. For example, if you want to begin introducing yourself slowly to theory and to jazz, and you have recording equipment, just record yourself playing a C chord. And over top of that, in as many places on the fretboard that you can find, practice doing C, E, G. Then record yourself playing a D minor and practice going in E minor, in F, in G, A, B diminished, and practice that for all of the keys that you see on this the screen. So if you practice this, study this, play along, and begin to commit these chord structures or these song structures and the triads, the notes of these particular chords, if you begin to commit these to memory and understand how they work and why they work, you will escalate your guitar playing skills dramatically. You'll get from point A to point B a lot more quickly. Okay? So that's it for today, and we'll be back soon with some live examples.